get into the real juice of this podcast, the real meat of this performance-enhancing audio. Omega defeated the Alpha. Wrestlekingdom happened on the day I was born, I might add. I'm not going to lie, I did enjoy Wrestlekingdom. It was a great present from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's jump right into this. Thoughts on Wrestlekingdom.
Just Wrestlekingdom as a whole, that's a lot. It was a 5-hour show. I stayed up, watched the entire thing. Well, okay, I didn't stay up the entire time. I took a little nap. I missed the heavyweight tag match, but apparently I didn't miss much. But besides that, I stayed up for the entire thing, watched it. It was great. Not going to say it was as good as last year's Wrestlekingdom, because Wrestlekingdom last year was honestly probably the best show I've ever seen in my whole entire wrestling life.
I don't know.
But
what about
top to bottom? What?
I'll mention it later. I mean, honestly, this was a good show. I turned it on for the junior heavyweight title match. Congratulations to Will Ospreay. I mean, a lot of titles changed hands. This was very good. Hiroshi Tanahashi retaining the IWGP Intercontinental title against Jay White. That was a nice one. I enjoyed that.
I thought that match was a little disappointing myself, but
yeah,
it was a weak link of the show.
It was a little underwhelming.
I mean, I don't know a lot of Jay White. I don't know a lot of his work, but I'm not going to say I wasn't impressed, but it was just, I know Tanahashi is working hurt right now, so he can't just go balls to the wall like he did last year, but that's why I thought last year's Wrestlekingdom, I'm not saying this Wrestlekingdom sucked. I thought this Wrestlekingdom was great. I'd give it like an 8, I thought last year's Wrestlekingdom was like a 10, because there was like so many great matches, and just every time it just kept getting better and better. Like it went from Kushida, Takahashi, then it went from Naito and Tanahashi, and then Okada Omega was like, the greatest thing ever. So it's hard to top what they did last year, but this year was a great show, and they drew however many more people they did last year. They drew 35,000 paid, 40,000 in total, and I thought it was great. The Young Bucks started the night off really good with their match against Roppongi 3K, and let's just jump into the 2 co-main events, which they're billing it with me. They're the only person to main event Wrestlekingdom and WrestleMania or whatever.
Him and Lesnar along with Flair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, main event Tokyo Dome.
I know. You know what I mean.
Yeah, but congratulations to the Young Bucks becoming 7-time tag team champions over there in Japan. Congratulations to those guys.
So, what did you think of the Jericho-Omega match?
I mean, before we get into that, let's talk about Ibushi versus Rhodes. I enjoyed that one.
I did like that match too. I like Brandy just being a total bitch, which was great.
I like the commentaries. She's been studying Keenan's tactics. I like the commentary. I was with the English commentary. It was all very great. Cody and Ibushi, they worked nice together. Ibushi was really pandering to the crowd. There was a nice crossroads off the apron onto the ground.
I thought Ibushi was gonna break his neck doing that, because Ibushi he just does some crazy ass stuff, and that
Of course, I always want Cody to go over, but I'm satisfied with that decision. It was nice.
And you can kind of telegraph Cody losing, since originally it was for the ROH title, and they took the ROH title off of him.
Yeah.
But Ibushi honestly is probably one of the best, if not the best athletes in pro wrestling right now, but it's just the problem is he's got kind of a drifter mentality like your boy Elias. He kind of just does what he wants.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be nailed down, and maybe one day he wakes up and doesn't want to wrestle anymore, or doesn't want to wrestle at New Japan. He wants to go and, conquer Europe or something. But if he, just settle down and I just want to take over New Japan, I want to be the guy, and he signed a 5-year contract, and they put all the money behind him, he could be a big deal. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I like Ibushi's work. Now let's talk about the real reason why a lot of us watched Wrestlekingdom, Omega versus Alpha. This was great storytelling. I mean, the entrance from Jericho, the light up jacket, he coming out to Fozzy's Judas. I mean, it really worked for this feel, for this stage of Jericho.
I love this Jericho. We had the list. We had, funny Jericho the past couple years. But this is money drawing Jericho. This is grumpy old man Jericho, and I want to see this Jericho in WWE for WrestleMania next year or whatever, because I want to see Jericho with one last great run in him, where he's a main guy, not just a funny haha.
Yeah, I mean, we've had so many incarnations of Jericho. Mine personal favorite is the swearing, no smart talking Jericho. I mean, but this Jericho, I loved it. It was a different, like, I'm vicious, I'm vindictive, I really am the best in the world, and let me go to another promotion and prove it. I mean, this was great storytelling. I mean, everything was awesome. I mean, Omega flying through the table, Jericho putting Red Shoe's son in the walls, beating up young boys. I mean, it was all awesome.
It was great. I mean, I didn't have high expectations like I did for Okada and Naito, but this match I thought it was going to be really good. But it just blew me out of the water. I thought it was the best match of the show.
I mean,
which,
I
watch all the matches on like you, so I could comment on that. Shots fired.
Hey,
I know.
I missed one. All right, I missed one.
You said you missed the one. You missed the main event.
Okay, we're going to get into the main event. I watched it back. We're going to get into it.
Okay, I did have some issues. Jericho was audibly calling spots. And that was one thing that I didn't like. Jericho wasn't in the best of shape, but he still could go, which I'm not going to knock anybody for being a little chubby. I'm a little chubby myself, even though I still make the junior heavyweight limit, just saying. Like Matt Hardy. I'm like Matt Hardy, right at the 205 level, or 220 level, whenever it was. Yeah. But, yeah. And Jericho is not just a one-off. He's coming back. He beat up Naito.
We're going to get into that after we talk Naito Okada. But with the whole Jericho Omega thing, it was great. The finish, I mean, of course I wanted Jericho to go over, but the one-winged angel onto the chair, that was a nice way to finish it off.
That thing was nasty.
Congratulations to Kenny Omega. You've impressed me.
I mean, I don't know how after last year he didn't impress you, but if this is what it takes to impress you, I guess this is what has to be done. Yeah. And I just want to see where they go from here.
Now let's talk about the main event of Wrestle Kingdom, when Kazuchika Okada defeated Tetsuya Naito to retain the IWGP Heavyweight title. Let me tell you something. Naito might be my new favorite wrestler.
Where have you been?
I mean, this guy is unbelievable. I'm all in. Like that show the Bucks and Cody are putting on, I'm all in for Tetsuya Naito.
All right. Tell me why. Explain why you have just discovered the greatness of Tetsuya Naito.
I mean, because I wasn't a fan, because I heard, like, I've seen him, like, disrespect the title. You know me. I keep it kayfabe. I believe in respecting the championship or whatever. But really just watching this guy work and, like, his storytelling and, like, his unbelievable agility and athleticism. I mean, this guy's the real deal. I'm down.
Mm-hmm.
You're the bigger New Japan fan. I mean, tell me your thoughts on this one.
Well, I was up and I tweeted. I don't really tweet all that often, but I decided
to tweet
a little bit. And I was like, you know what? Even though as great as Chris Jericho and Omega was, I thought that Naito and Okada was going to surpass it. And I'm going to say I don't think it did. I think Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega was a better match. But now, kind of stepping back, it's been, 48 hours or something like that since I've last seen it, or whatever, 36. I'm not good with math. Whatever. But I've kind of stepped back, and I think maybe because I had such high expectations for the main event, that kind of knocked it down a little bit for me, just because it wasn't like just a fantastic match like Okada and Omega was last year, but kind of now that I'm thinking about it, like I'm kind of thinking, and I've seen like other reviews and kind of they've broken stuff down, and it's kind of talking me into like, this was a great match. This was like 4 3/4, 5-star quality for me.
It was very good.
I thought it was going to be Naito's time, but this just makes me wonder what are they going to like. This just makes me wonder like what are they going to do? I know people are hating on Gato because Okada's his boy and he's protecting him, but sometimes you just got to put all your chips in one basket, and hopefully they have some sort of storyline going forward to where they know something's going to happen. Maybe I would love for this to culminate in the United States with some big match that can draw a huge house, but I don't know if they got in store. What do you think?
Well, speaking of storylines going forward, let's talk about what happened. Jericho attacked Naito at the.
They had some little interactions on Twitter, and I listened to the Jericho podcast of him previewing the whole thing, talking about how the whole Omega Alpha storyline came together. And he threw a little jab in there to Naito, he big-timed me on the plane or on the bus, whatever. and, he doesn't respect him or whatever. And I was like, oh, damn, I thought, he swerved me, I thought it was legit, but all in all, it's all a work. It's always a work, Phillip.
Yeah,
just remember that.
This is more than just a one-off for Jericho. He's moving to the next competitor. Jericho always is really looking vicious with the facial expressions. I'm excited for Jericho versus Naito.
I am too. I wonder where this match takes place.
Dominion,
No, Dominion's too far. That's in June. But there's another one coming up. But I think that I don't know what to do with Naito, because Naito was the whole cocky, everything's going to happen for me heel, and now that he lost this, is he going to turn into a kind of a sympathetic babyface? And I don't know what Jericho's schedule is, what he wants to do, but what I would do personally is, like, I would have Jericho beat Naito, and then you have Jericho versus Okada in the United States
for the title,
for the heavyweight championship, and that could just draw crazy money. You can run that at the Staples Center, and they could probably draw 12,000 people at least.
Yeah,
but I think that's where I would go. I don't know where they're going though.
But let's talk about Omega for a second. Do we see him as an entrant in the Rumble?
I know everyone wants to believe that this was like some sort of WWE trade that happened where Jericho goes over and Kenny comes back. I don't think it's going to happen.
No.
Kenny did an angle where he wanted to invite Jay White into the Bullet Club, but he refused, and now that's setting up the angle or the match between Jay White and Kenny Omega, and hopefully Kenny can get a better match out of Jay White than Tanahashi can. Tanahashi was injured, but Kenny's full, and he can have a great match with anybody at this point, so I want to see that match.
I mean, because honestly, like, I do think Omega has at least, like, 2 more years left in Japan, because he has, like, at least 4 more opponents, really. He worked with Naito, his stuff with Ibushi. Him and Cody, they've been having differences for the past couple months, so that needs to be settled. And then, of course, finish off his work with Okada.
I heard Dave Meltzer talk about this, Big Dave, and he said he doesn't want to see Kenny and Okada face off this year, and I agree with him. Like, last year was just fantastic. They faced off a bunch. And this year, just let it rest, let it simmer, have them face other people, and just have it culminate either at a Dominion next year or Wrestle Kingdom next year. But
do you think we get Rhodes versus Omega at the All In show?
I don't know. Maybe. Okay, so hold on. Is the All In show is that like their 10,000 seater show? Is that what they're calling it?
Yeah.
There's no like other details of where it is or when it's going to happen. That's just what the name's called.
Yeah. Hopefully, California was like a big possibility for them. So hopefully maybe they get the Cow Palace. I don't know, but hopefully they get something in California so we can attend.
But Omega versus Cody Rhodes, that they have teased that a little bit in the Be in the Elite episodes. It would be a good match. I was impressed with Cody with his match against Ibushi. I'm not the biggest Cody fan in the world. I know you love him, but when he can have a great match with the upper echelon talent, and Kenny definitely is that. But who's the babyface in that? I assume Kenny's the babyface and Cody Rhodes the heel.
I'm pretty sure Cody will be the heel because Cody tells a better story when he's a heel.
Yeah, he's just a pretty boy asshole, and he does a great job at that.
I mean, his dad was one of the best storytellers in the business, But Wrestle Kingdom overall, it was a very good show. I'll give this one an A.
I will give it an A as well. A+ was Wrestle Kingdom last year, but Wrestle Kingdom, one of the best shows ever.
Yes.
Wrestle Kingdom's always going to be in the discussion for best show of the year, and this one's no different.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.